And you see here more pictures. You see six-legged tortoise. Six-legged tortoise, but this is very, very rare in Bangladesh. And the Bengal fox also. And the rhesus macaque, it is also the endangered species in Bangladesh. And Ganges river dolphin, Asian golden cat. So these are the pictures. These are the pictures.
Six-legged tortoise has six legs.
Yeah, six-legged tortoise. It has six legs. Yeah, it has the six legs. But basically, some tortoise they have belongs to four legged. But this is the species, and this have some peculiarities. The six-legged tortoise. But this is very rare in Bangladesh. I mean that it is almost disappeared. Okay. And then okay, it is tabulated form, and you see here Royal Bengal tiger. You see, so every students I know it is well known about the Royal Bengal tiger in Bangladesh. We just feel proud about the Royal Bengal tiger. We are the country from Royal Bengal tiger. Just say, and hog deer also. So deer is most important in Bangladesh context, and it has many aspects and prospects regards to the uh, animals resources in Bangladesh. So one classes that I will be assigned about the deer, very important. But we have some restrictions by the guidelines or by the obstacle from the government. So that's why in next class I will be assigned for one more classes about the deer farming, about the deer statistics as in Bangladesh, about the deer meat, everything I will discuss regards to one issue, that is the deer. And how many deers in Bangladesh, what the types of deer, what types of deer are available in Bangladesh, etc., etc. I will discuss. Okay. And the goat. Okay, so this is the another species that is almost extinct from Bangladesh. So you see here some birds. The spoon-billed, the sandpiper. You see here, but it is very rare. Sometimes in sea beach or lakeside, you will find this. And red-headed vulture, almost gone, almost gone. The red-headed vulture from Bangladesh. Okay, it has some different issues and many reasons regards to this red-headed vulture. Because in my student life, when I was in my village, I saw a lot of vulture, but now it is not easily seen. It is not easily seen here and there, including place or rural area or any coastal area or remote area. I don't get any touch with the red-headed vulture. And the later one is the oriental magpie robin. It is also near about extinct. Significantly, it is just going down. Okay, compared to other birds in Bangladesh. So these were the pictures that I am trying to show all of you. That the pictures they are assigned and they are grouped as endangered species in Bangladesh. Okay. So now the conservation status and challenges in Bangladesh. So, okay. So, what are the conservation status? So, many issues, many points, many parameters will be assigned about the conservation status. We have some different challenges regards to deforestation, illegal trade, encounters between the humans and wildlife, and different impact of agriculture, industrial agriculture, as well as the rising the temperature and also the sea impact. So many issues and many parameters and many factors that will assign for the conservation of challenges in Bangladesh as well as in the whole world. So what? So what should be what should be followed? I mean that this is the conceptual ideology. That is the most important things you must be followed as a veterinarian, as a animal based wisher. First one is captive breeding programs. You know all about the captive breeding programs. I mean that in confined area, research and education very vastly needed. Species preservations, as I mentioned, and reintroduction to wildlife, zoo and wildlife. Anyway, so these are the points we have to must be considered to overcome all of the challenges for conservation of the wildlife natures in Bangladesh. So, what type of conservations are available? So, we may categorize the two types of conservations basically. One is the in situ conservation, and other is ex situ conservation. So, what do you mean by the in situ conservation? In situ conservation, that means when you are going to conserve the uh, natural resources, including the animals, maybe plants or anything else, no problem, in its natural habitat, then you may categorize it as in situ conservation. It may be, it may be done in a protected area, including the national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, or different many types of you like this in situ conservations. But on the other hand, the ex situ conservation. Ex situ conservation, that means you must do the conservation and you must follow the conservation procedure in uh, well confined area. I mean this confined environment. In confined environment, and then it is ex situ conservation. So it may include the the botanical garden, geological park, different geological park, or you may do the conservation in your practical lab or seed bank or any institutional research regards to the zoo and wildlife. This is ex situ conservation. I mean that will be in confined area. In confined area, non in-house system. In-house system. So let's see about the success. So in Bangladesh, many wildlife scientists are available. We have some geology department from Dhaka University. We have geology department from Jahangirnagar University, Khulna University, Rajshahi University, Chittagong University. So they are also working with the improvement of the zoo and wildlife also. So we are the veterinarian. So we have more responsibility because more touches we are always attached. We have more touches. So we have to know what are the successes regards to the improvement of the zoo or wildlife animals or birds in Bangladesh. Okay, we have some achievements. Say, first one is the ghorial conservation. So significantly in Bangladesh, we have already developed some ghorial conservation strategy, and we already promote this strategy to the different area in Bangladesh. Tiger breeding, that is the more iconic animals in the world as well as in Bangladesh. So in Chattogram Zoo, in Chittagong Zoo. So in Chittagong Zoo, they have found significant improvement, significant achievement. Raj and Puri. That is the male and female. So already they have given more than 14 cups. 14 cups. So it is the most historical achievement, historical event for us in Bangladesh. That can easily identify that we are going to enhance the wildlife animals by following the following the proper strategy. So it is possible in Bangladesh, and we are going to just reach a good milestone in Bangladesh. And then the Asian giant tortoise in 2018, Bangladesh achieved a milestone by successfully rearing free hatching of Asian tortoise captivity for the first time in Bangladesh. So it is very important. And they are crocodile breeding. Yes, we successfully we did the crocodile breeding in Bangladesh. It is also another achievement for us. Giant forest tortoise 2022. It is very recently, very recently. If you may go the YouTube, you will get this information. In Chattogram Hill, we release all Northern River Tarpon. It also the two breeding groups of Northern Tarpon River. We already released this one, so this is another great achievement. And we have some groups, and they are doing well. They are doing their good job in terms of enhancing the population number of animals and birds which are classified as an endangered in Bangladesh. Okay, so let's see the impact of the captive breeding. So it is good always captive breeding. Captive breeding is good. So question may be asked that the captive breeding is it good for all aspects in terms of positive and negative? So does it have some negative issues or negative? Yes, compared to negative and positive impact. So the positive impacts plays more vital, and it is more emphasis and more impressive issues for us to enhance the populations of the endangered species in Bangladesh. But we have some negative impact. Number one, if you do the captive breeding in a confined or in a systematic area or a territory, and that may be affect the genetic issues. I mean the genetic makeup and then behavioral changes. Because if you do the captive breeding, some behavior that are not natural like the other wild animal which board or which part in their natural habitat. So this is the problem also we found in terms of behavioral changes, not similar. And the final one is delayed adaptation. It is the very bad negative impact that if you do the captive breeding in a confined area, in a zoo, national park, or botanical garden, and it is the bird, after the bird, the offspring, they cannot cope with the I mean that the natural habitat. I mean that our target is reintroduction. So after captive breeding, and then our target is release to the animal by enhancing the populations and then release to their natural habitat. But research found that it is not perfectly done. So due to delay adaptation, because they cannot cope, they cannot switch with this environment because their born is different environment and they are going to adapt different environment. So here some negative impact we found because we have some the related articles we found, and here many positive impact we have here, you see. So let's see, the next one is conservation of the aquatic animal. Okay, so aquatic animal is related with the fisheries. So it is regards to fisheries department. But as we are veterinarian, because we have to contact with any museum or any zoological garden or any aquatic animals is very important, because we have to know the basic concept about the aquatic animals. So here I am trying to mention about their conservation. I mean that conserve the water, reduce turn of water, marine conservation strategies, support good ocean policies. Okay, let's see. I have one PPT file regards to the aquatic animal management. So here I am trying to show about what are the aquatic animal available, and the aquatic animal management strategy, and what about the water quality, and what will be the water, I mean that water pH, that will be the main issue. Water pH, water nitrate and nitrite content, and what are maybe potassium content. So different issues, and how we clean and how to manage, what is the management of aquarium, etc., etc. So maybe I will discuss about one more class about the aquatic animal management and aquatic animal health. Maybe one class I will discuss. Okay. So here different issues I am trying to show. Plastic uses, that is important. Acidifications I am trying to mention. Aquarium practices, marine conservation science. So that will be all will be assigned in regards to the aquatic animals. However, so we are going to end of the class mostly. Utilization of the zoos and wildlife reserves. So this is very simple information for all of you. So how can we utilize the zoo and wildlife reserve? Wildlife reserve, that means I mean that resources. So the resources including the animals, birds available. This indicates that one. So captive breeding program, species reintroduction, already we know about this one. Advocacy and education, research and genetic management, and addressing the challenges, and another more things: conservation, missing of zoos, mission of zoos, captive breeding processes. Oh yeah, captive breeding processes. So how you will do the captive breeding? If you do in confined area, in your lab, etc. So is it is legal or illegal? If it maintain the I mean that the animal welfare or not. So that will be the points about the captive breeding processes. So here a lot of issues will be concerned. Rule of zoos and aquarium. Okay, I will take one more classes about the aquarium. Concerns and considerations. Reproductive facilities in zoos. Challenges and ethical consideration in captive breeding. Genetic diversity, as I mentioned, it is crucial, because if you do the captive breeding, it is not a normal issue. It is not a normal ethical issue. It will be more crucial for the animals and birds. Ethical concern, it is not ethical. If you do the captive breeding, scientists recommended that it is not ethical. Animal welfare, okay, if you do the captive breeding, because many stress and many behavioral issues, different, okay, if you do the captive breeding, it will create the stress. Ultimately, the stress is related with the body physiology regards to the meat and meat compositions also. So ultimately, that effects go through down the offspring. So animal welfare is the main concept and main concern for the zoo and wildlife. Sustainable practices, that will be another points about the challenges. Distinguish the captive wildlife sanctuaries. I mentioned about the what is the captive breeding or what is the wildlife sanctuaries about you. I mentioned in my previous classes. Space and resources. Okay, if you do the captive breeding in a confined area or a fixed territory, you need to provide more nutrition. You need to provide adequate space and health care, etc., etc. Many formalities we have to maintain. And behavioral adaptation, I mentioned that about the newborn baby, if it is born in the captive area, it has to struggle to cope or switch with the new environment. So that is the other issues. Disease risks. Okay. So disease may be transmitted through animals I mean that from humans to animals. When you will do the breeding, when you will manage, and then you reintroduce to the animal their own territory, own habitat. But so here lot of attachment in terms of human and animal. So here disease may be transmitted from anywhere. Freedom and welfare, long-term care. Oh, okay. If you do the captive breeding, the offspring must be cared in. It is more susceptible. If it is born in the captive area or captive breeding, you have to support it. You have to care it for a long time. So this is another challenges, and balancing the conservation and welfare also, because the conservation goal and the welfare goal is totally different cases. So here, if it is no mutualism between produced phenomena, so it is very difficult to maintain the one platform. So this is another challenges. However, reproduction, the captive breeding. So how the captive breeding that may hamper. So it may cause due to different regions, that is the environmental conditions, okay, different aspect, temperature, humidity, rainfall, etc., that may affect the reproduction rate, reproduction fertility, conceptive, etc. And the habitat loss and fragmentation, as I mentioned about the biodiversity status, about the habitat loss and fragmentation. Every day we are losing different lands due to the deforestation. Genetic diversity, predation and competition. Oh, it is very important, because if it is the wildlife in nature, so here different competition in terms of food items. So that is the problem. Human disturbance, another problem. Food availability, another problem. Predation problem. Disease and parasite problem. Social structure, climate change, very well known all of you. Pollution, habitat quality, inbreeding. This is inbreeding. Okay, so always the captive breeding is not good, because if you do the captive breeding, and the inbreeding may be occurring, because the similar parents, dam, shire, they are mostly related. So ultimately, the strength of the offspring, that will go down like this. Okay, so inbreeding is not accepted in terms of scientific background to enhance the population. Human interference, and the final one is the invasive species. Yeah, we can see that if we visit different forest, so here sometimes we see the unexpected species. Unexpected. That it is not its natural habitat, but sometimes we see the unexpectedly it is found here. But why it is come here? Why it is try to cope here? So this is the problem nowadays. It is happening. The invasive species. That the new strangers. So this is the effect that affect the breeding strategy. So the behavioral aspect and captive breeding. So here I am trying to mention different aspects of behavioral phenomena. So I'm not interested to describe this one by one. So you just read it. And the genetic diversity and gene bank. Okay, what's your suggestions to maintain or to make a sustainable environment regards to animals or birds, that which are entitled as endangered species. So what's your suggestion will be? That is the more important. So we need to give more emphasis about the genetic diversifications, and more applications of the gene banks, and a strategy for gene bank use, wildlife management and genetics, germplasm conservations. As I mentioned that we have no germplasm conservations. In Bangladesh, so far I know, only the plant germplasm, which is located at Bangladesh Agriculture University, we have, because here different lot of seed are available there from different countries. But in terms of animals, we have not yet any renowned or established germ center. That the germplasm center regards to animals and birds. So we need to develop this one. And preserving the genetic diversity, mitigation the risk of extinction, research and reproduction, advanced techniques we need to implement, and AI and biodiversity research, and under utilize the potential, because we have many potentialities in terms of the zoo and wildlife diversity in Bangladesh, because geologically or biodiversification, we are well rich in terms of animals and plants also. However, pet trade, how the pet trade affect the conservations of natures. Pet trade, what do you mean by pet trade? Pet trade, that means some illegal peoples or some illegal guys, they are trying to keep their some species. It may be monkeys, it may be macrate, the reptiles. It may be, no problem. Or reptiles, any reptiles. So they are trying to keep in their own house, and they have a good business also. So it is totally illegal. So this is called the pet trade. Pet trade. So pet trade, from different aspects, it also impact the conservation of our natures. How it affect biodiversity impact, disease spread, and then some legislations. I mean, there's some problematic species you have not allowed. You are not permitted to export or import without any government authority, but it is exchanging from here and there by illegal path or illegal communication, illegal way. And it also affect the conservation efforts, global impact also, and international efforts also. So this is the pet trade. So if I make question about the pet trade, what do you mean by pet trade, and how the pet trade affect the conservation of the nature described? So just literal, you have to know this one. And aquatic animal health management, as I mentioned earlier, that we have one classes about the some aquatic animal health and its management. Just here I'm giving some informations, because some aquatic animals, they are in endangered. So here I just included here only for your concern, only for your concentrations. So this is the end of my class for today. I mean, that final one is that we need to make a building regards to ethics and animal welfare. If we do better in conservation of our natural resources in Bangladesh. So thank you all. I think the